Today is the day after Sabbath, Sunday in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. 17th day of May, and during lockdown, especially when you're by yourself, you could think much clearer. You could reminisce about what should happen, what ought to happen. But one blessing is that you have your mind intact. The minister this week talked about mental fatigue. If you let this get to you, you imagine at the age you're supposed to be thinking about your retirement, you're thinking about starting all over without the monetary funds, without the material. If you think about it, it will get to you. So you just need to seize the time, embrace life, take it one day at a time. That's how I encourage Abaconians to do. This hurricane should have taught Abaco and Abaconians a huge lesson of how to love your neighbor, how to embrace friendship, how to be your brother's keeper, and definitely to know who's there for you as a people, as a government. I had a heart-to-heart with a strong F&M supporter, and she was advising me who I should speak, when I should speak. Do not criticize the MP. What do I have to offer? I like to advise her that I've been offering my service, my monetary fund, my advice for over 25 years. But you see, it is very clear that a prophet has no honor in his own town. I remember the basketball games in Abaco was the biggest event in Abaco. Everybody that had an event would come to me and pay to advertise to bring the crowd. I was almost like a celebrity because wherever I go after the game, that is where the crowd will follow. So they would pay me to come certain event so that my friends, the basketball community, would follow. I remember so clearly, there's a family that always come there from Dundastan, had about 6 to 8 kids. And I felt so privileged that every time they come to the game, I know they couldn't afford $10, $5 each. Drinks, food, I give the blow pop free. So this one family I adopted, he brought his 6 to 8 kids in, and I will go get the chicken every Friday and Saturday. I tell them, you don't have to pay. If you have a problem at the gate, you call me. I will serve you. And that was a pleasure and a privilege. After the games, 2 o'clock in the morning, while everybody is gone about their business, Kai Mills, Donald Jr., Stinkweed, O'Neill, we'll be picking up the garbage. We had garbage bins right beside the bleachers, but that was too much of work, so they dropped the garbage right under the bleachers. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming home. That was service, trying to make Abaco a place that people could come peacefully. And the beautiful thing about basketball is that 2 o'clock in the morning, you'll see the mother and the father with their sons and daughters. After the game, they would take the court off over, and I would leave them there 2:30 in the morning shooting around. That was beautiful to see people get out of the hot houses and come out into the environment and embrace themselves. I tried so hard, but every time I try to make a move in my community, my own friends and family, nobody far from you. Your enemy is within. You're sleeping with the enemies. My cousins, my so-called friend, will always block. I remember the Dunderstown Burial Society. And one man, Eston Sawyer, he always was fond of me, always pulled me aside and gave me ideas. I was going to break it down. He said, Kai, don't break it down. That's where I learned music. That was the only place that brought the community together. So you see, my good friend from Treasure Key, that's one of the things I tried to do. I remembered as a young man, and anybody that was born and grew up in Murphy and Dunderstown, the thing that took away politics, took away church, because church in most instances break community apart. And when you had a burial society meeting, there was not F&M, there was not PLP, there were not Church of God, Baptist, Methodist. They were all Abaco, Dunderstown, Murphytown residents. And that's one of the things, if elected, Kai will get together to get back up and running, because everybody know how expensive it is to bury your loved ones in some dignity. But the person said, Kai, you're talking, but you're not giving any solution. You see, Kai have a lot of solution, but like the Dunderstown Town Committee and the members there, they take your ideas and run with it. You see, you have to know when to hold it. You got to know when to sell it. I take my ideas and put it out there by videos. They will grab it up and run with it. Don't know how it's going to be finished. They just got an idea because they heard me say it. But you have to plan through. They only heard the beginning. They don't know the end. They don't care. They just want to make sure I grab it so it don't be Kai's idea. I've seen it over and over. So until you have that position, you'll be careful how to give information. Even now, as I try to get a nomination, you got to be careful of who you promote, what you promote, when you promote. But you know that you have the talent to do so. This is one of the worst times in our lives as Abaconian. Absolutely the worst. No way in my 58 years I thought that I would be homeless. I would be cityless. I would be motherless. I would be jobless and don't know when you're going to get some peace of mind. I tell them all I want is a pillow and a key for my own place. Nothing much, nothing fancy, never was about the fanciness. We learned that the more you had in Hurricane, the more you lost, and the more you wouldn't get back if you didn't have insurance. You built up a whole life, and less than 24 hours, it was a vapor. That is mind-boggling. But the hard thing is that Abaco was such a beautiful place. People come from all over the world to enjoy Abaco. And to see how much, I keep saying how much Abaco has put into the consolidatory funds and duties, 45 million a year. And we can get 10 million worth of material to help the less fortunate, the elder people to rebuild. Nothing. 9 months in, we can't even get the streets of Marshall and Dunderstown repaired. It is the government responsibility to make sure that we have clear, safe passage. The roads in some cases are breaking in half. Not a word from the government. Power. temporary power. We can easily have temporary power. They can't even put the poles up 9 months in. Water. Shut off the ones that houses is being destroyed. Doesn't take no college degree to figure that out. Common sense. Put water back into the community. Nothing has been restored 9 months in. My message today is trying to bring Abaco back as a family island where families are looking out for families, that we know everybody in every car. If a crime was committed, we could tell the police to date who committed the crime. That's the beauty of being on the family islands. Everybody knows everything. My message is just unity. If we could have only partnered with the government, we would have been so far ahead. If only the government would have listened to us. Even worse, even if our member of parliaments would have had a meeting with us and sit down with us, because they don't live there. We have lived there all our lives. They come and go. Over 35 years, Theron didn't live in Abaco. If he only would have listened to Kai. See, what you all don't know is that Kai sat around the table and tried to embrace Theron. But it has to be all about him. That is why he will go down in history as the worst member of parliament in the history of North Abaco. It's never been about Kai. It's always been about my people. This is why I speak. I can do like the rest of them do. All the pastors, all the leaders, Christian Council, don't say a word. Silence means that you agree with what the government doing and not doing. Nobody is opening their mouth. They passed the 10, 15-foot mounds of trash on Main Street, Mars Shaba, for some 9 months. They know that the dead is in the trailer. Some of the dead in the trailer went to these same pastors' church. I don't think they reached out to the family, nor have they spoke and say it's wrong to keep our dead above ground 9 months without any plans, no set date of burying them. This is wrong, and this is why Kai speak. That's my strength. That's my karma, to shed light on a situation that most people don't have the gumption to speak to and speak about. Kai cares. That's why I'm here, live on WCAY.